Hey guys, it's JQ Crafty. We are doing week 3 of Dusty Attic Sketches. Here, see it. You saw it in the beginning, and I'll have it in the corner as well. I got my son's baby book done, so the year he was born at least, and like our birth story and that kind of thing. So 2013 is done. So I'm slowly working on 2014. So I have a big stack of photos over here that's the beginning of 2014 I need to get scrapped. I picked out these two just because there are two photos in the sketch, and these look like ones that I could easily make work. Just a cute random thing. I haven't figured out a title or anything yet, but I thought I would use these for this week's sketch. I have no idea what collection I'm going to use, so that'll be fun. So yeah, let's get started and let's figure something out. So I ended up digging through my stash, and because I'm really trying to use up scraps and stuff. So I had looked at a few different things, but I happened to have a little bit left over of this Jelly Bean Soup collection. Is it So Cool or something like that? I don't remember right now, but I did play with it in, I think, December for my Product Focus Friday. And then so I had these pad and paper, so that one, the star one that I just set aside, and then that, ironically, a gear one, right? So I went ahead and found this dark blue cardstock, and in the sketch, if you look at it really close, which I know it's hard when it's up in the corner like that, there's like this really cool texture looking, it almost looks like, bubble wrap itself, behind that biggest layer. So I decided I love this technique, using bubble wrap and Distress Oxides or paints or something, and you use that to put this texture down. So it gives a subtle texture on the background paper. I went and found this dark blue cardstock. Yep, like I said, in my stash, it matched the best to the darkest blue on that gear paper. And what's nice about oxides is they do sit on top of, because they have pigment and dye, they sit on top of, instead of kind of being translucent, they're chalky. So I knew I could use it and it would actually show up, but not be super, super, bold. And if you did it multiple times, you could make it even more bold, but I liked it that it was subtle. And then I just went around the edge and with the ink pad itself, and then kind of smeared it in, so it gave it kind of like a grungy look. And I really like that. I just used my finger and kind of smeared it in because it's pretty wet when you go around. So I trimmed down that pattern paper with the chevrons. I really like that. I really wanted to have an edge. I like how in the sketch everything seems to be outlined by black, but since I'm doing dark bases, I'm going to basically outline everything in white. So I have this washi tape that is white. It's like half white and the other half is like a white or a turquoise scallop. It's like the perfect turquoise, match this collection to a T. So I put that on either side just to give a little white balance, and see how that mixed media just pokes out the sides. I love it. It just gives something subtle, something extra, nothing too blatant. Now, this sketch is awesome. You could do a million things with what they have around the photo clusters there. I happen to actually have gears, which I thought was funny because I was like, oh, I'm not going to be able to do gears. I'll figure out something else, because I had no idea what I was going to work with. And then when I saw that I still had leftover this Jelly Bean Soup collection, I was like, well, I might as well. So I went ahead and trimmed down that star paper as well and framed it with white to once again give it like a white border, and then did the same thing with my photos. Now, their photos obviously in the sketch, and these are things that you can change. You don't have to follow a sketch to a T. Their photos, the bottom photos under the top photo, well, I didn't have space that I wanted to cut off, so mine is on top of my top photo. So now I'm taking this awesome cut file I got from Creative Cuts Club from Redefine Creative, and it's from, what month? I want to say August, but let me double check. It's actually from the July Creative Cuts Club of 2020, and it was an exclusive cut file made by Christina herself, which is awesome. And yes, I'm doing the horror thing. I am cutting it up. But I really like the way it kind of played on the look of the chain that they have in the sketch, and then also the gears, because I am going to fussy cut a bunch of those gears out of the paper, but I'm going to spoil alert right now. Right there, I cut because I cut them while I was sitting watching TV with my family. Yeah, I did not cut that many out. They're hard to cut out, man. They're tiny. They're very fussy. And I cut out a good handful, and then I was like, you know what? I think that might be good enough. I think that's going to be good enough for now. So I cut that up and I really like the way it looks around there. So now I'm just taking some of those gears or all of the gears that I cut up, which was not very many, like I said, but it was just enough to give the idea and the look of the same thing. And I like though that Bubbles cut file really kind of expanded them and also brought your eye out like in the sketch. So I'm doing that. I'm popping this cool. So luckily I had some of the ephemera too. And since I really wasn't sure what to do for a title, I figured this cool was going to be fine. And then I'm just going to put this little dream big underneath the cool afterwards. So I popped it up on foam. I'm popping some up of the gears on foam. Some are like little foam squares. Some of them not. Some of them are going flat. But just trying to create that look and some dynamics, and then putting these little star stickers on. I thought about putting the hexagons as well, but I decided not to because I'm like, that's just another shape. We got the circle, the cog wheel going. Let's just stick to a shape, right? Plus all the chevrons and the stars, and yeah. I just thought they'd be too much, and I'm definitely going for. I usually just kind of puke on the page, and sometimes depending on what I'm creating, I do. But I feel like there was enough visual interest that I didn't need to just vomit everything onto the page. And let's see, now what am I doing? Oh yes, so I wanted something to go down in that little area, and I wanted to use up some of this ephemera because the whole point of like me using up my stash is using up my stash. So I'm gonna put this little corgi and add the little hat to use up 2 little ephemera just because he looks pretty cool with that. And then I'm gonna go ahead and mimic the stitching that they have on the outside with white outline with this pen, and then I'm gonna journal with my white pen as well. But that is it. I really like. For some reason, I'm really into the dark backgrounds lately, but I really like the way bright colors pop on the dark backgrounds. So I hope you guys enjoy. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again next week for another Dusty Attic Sketches. Bye!